To go from this,
that young man, I forgive him.
This,
Charlie, we're best friends. We joked around that. Oh, I know.
in less than a couple of weeks, is unheard of for a widow.
People are dragging Charlie Kirk's wife, ERIKA, and let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, I want to talk about Charlie Kirk's wife and actually is grieving her husband. So apparently the entire internet is almost divided about how she's grieving her husband and how things are panning out. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you don't know who she is, Google is your friend. Kirk died a couple of weeks ago, not even up to a month ago, and his memorial was had like sometime last week, which was a big deal. And then now what we're seeing the wife doing, which the wife shows up at his memorial crying and talking about how they've forgiven the shooter and all that. Went all that, people called her out and talk about how performative it is and how Donald Trump was hugging her really tight. But the one that's gotten more people talking now is the fact that now she is on the podcast talking about the future plans of taking over her husband and all that. And this is rubbing people a funny way. Some people are calling it out that this is a strange way to grieve your lost husband. That was on a live publicly for the entire internet, the entire world to see in less than a month, for you to be out here doing press rounds and podcasts and talking about the future when you should be home raising the children. Why some people are saying that you guys take a back seat, like this is a widow, she can grieve whatever way she wants to grieve. But anyway guys, let's see a couple of the clips, people's reaction to it, and then I'll come back and share my thought on this. But you let me know if you think this is weird, if you think this is normal, people grieve separately or differently. Let me know down in the comment section. Okay, so let's just check it out and then we'll talk more.
What stage of grief is this?
You've been through, what the team has been through, to see it's like I keep saying, Charlie's almost sprinkling his little Charlie Kirk magic dust on everything, and I'm like 100
I feel
X.
them. All of them matter, and we will never be silenced.
Amen.
We will never be silenced.
Amen.
And that's why continuing his platform in a beautiful, honorable way will reinforce that we will never be silenced.
Well, let's take a quick break. I'm not going to promise that she's still going to be here, but maybe she will be.
I want to talk about ERIKA Kirk. To go from this,
That young man, I forgive him.
to this,
Charlie, we're best friends. We joked around that. Oh, I know. We joked around that he was the favorite. You will be the Rush Limbaugh of your generation.
in less than a couple of weeks, is unheard of for a widow, especially when the parameters of your partner's death were as gruesome and as detailed as they were. She has positioned herself to be the figurehead for whatever white nationalist movement is being had right now. I never want to agree with people, but the fact that I'm agreeing with Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens is really scary.
Didn't your husband just get off like 2 seconds ago? And not to be insensitive about it, but everyone's thinking it. I'm going to say it. I think it's super inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate. I think it's weird. It's bizarre. Something is off there and I don't like it. But they're doing the Super Bowl commentators with the headsets on, doing a media table. They're selling merch, registering voters. They got pyrotechnics. Is this WrestleMania or is this a funeral? Like, what are we doing here? And then the day after the funeral, I'm getting 500 texts and emails. ERIKA Kirk here. I miss him. Every time I blink, every beat of my heart. Make sure to donate $5, $15, $25. It's like, okay.
And I'm not trying to dictate how a widow grieves. I'm not trying to dictate how anyone grieves. But when we've seen public figures die, we haven't seen their wives in months or years, to be honest.
Yes.
But you, in less than 2 weeks, are at this Kirkchella with the president, with beams and lights and performances and fake tears and being nuzzled by a weird old man, to now being on the podcast laughing and joking about tweeting as if you were him and how many episodes you're going to do. It is really fucking strange. That's all I'm going to say.
Agree.
If anybody out there is a widow or widower, or you've lost a spouse, you can attest that this is very, very, very strange.
Look at this face. As of the recording of this video, we're only 16 days out from a supposedly brutal, horrific assassination of the love of her life, of the father of her 2 children. And she's acting like it kind of didn't happen. Are we going to hear about the Romanian angels situation? Are we going to hear her address what some people are saying, that she's been banned from Romania for a certain thing that people are accusing her of? 16 days out. I would expect this maybe from somebody 16 months out. But I have grandparents, and I know people, and you probably do too, that still mourn the loss of a loved one who wasn't taken during a horrific or some kind of unexpected accident, something where maybe a loved one was struggling with cancer for a couple of years, going through chemotherapy, and the doctor's like, well, get your things in order because so-and-so only has 6 months or 12 months. And even after that, you don't recover like this. Even after preparing yourself 16 days out from the actual demise of the individual that you say you love, am I tripping? Or is this as bizarre to you as it is to me?
So the conversation has been about ERIKA Kirk and her grief journey. And they say everybody grieves differently. And I can agree with that, because there are people that I've seen on this app. Why am I always itching? Oh yeah, perimenopause. There are people that I have seen on this app who have lost parents and have grieved very deeply and very heavily and very publicly. I've lost both of my parents. I am an orphan. And I feel that I am fortunate, I guess, that I did not have the debilitating grief that would stop me from living day to day and put me into a deep depression or anything like that. However, ERIKA Kirk's husband died 19 days ago. Not even 3-4 weeks. And she out here. She has picked up the mantle and the torch. And she gonna be in front of that camera. She gonna do these podcasts. She gonna talk to these people. So, girl, I guess, I can't say what she going through, because I don't know. I don't know that lady. I don't see her every day. I find it interesting, but I don't know her. So whatever she do before the camera. Now the pyro did throw me off. She should have been like, are y'all serious? But she came on out there with the pyro. But outside the camera, she might be crying every 10 minutes. I don't know. But I know what she looked like when she get in front of the camera. It's all business all the time. So, okay, girl. I mean, I guess.
Just saw a guy break down and say how we get from this to that, talking about Charlie Kirk's wife, ERIKA Kirk, showing, she looked sad in one video, did another video, she looked okay. Y'all basically saying this lady got something to do with what happened with her husband. Okay, a lot of people, that's what y'all say. But what if she don't, and y'all accusing her as a wife losing a husband? I lost my first husband. That's a hurtful feeling for somebody to blame you for something that you have nothing to do with. That's why I don't want to be so big, to get to the point where people just start making up things. Imagine how hurt she is. But what if, okay, maybe you may be right, but what if you're wrong? What if you are wrong and you're accusing a wife, a widow that lost her husband? So think about the things that y'all put out. Let me tell y'all this, and I done said this before. When you have God, real God, you handle situations, hurt. You may even grieve different because you know that we are on this earth for a temp time. We all got to go. Now, the way Charlie Kirk went, that shouldn't have happened. But what if y'all are accusing this lady and y'all could be wrong? So think about what you're putting out there. Hugs and love. Y'all be blessed. The J-Lo. Mwah.
So I've seen a lot of videos on here about ERIKA Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, and negative videos with regard to how theatrical she was, at his memorial service, and how she was putting on a show and all of these things. And I'm just curious, did it ever cross your mind that she had to have her children's best interest at heart throughout the entire thing? Because at some point in time, those kids are likely going to see a video of their father getting, and at some point in time, they will see how their mother responded to that. So instead of acting evil and hateful and spiteful, like many of you are, who are teaching your children to be excited about the potential of a president or other members of his cabinet, instead of promoting evil in your own homes, maybe you should take a lesson from her and look at how she acted in the face of so much trauma.
Yeah, if you guys could stop attacking a grieving widow and coming up with conspiracies surrounding her true intentions, that would be great. And I know everybody loves a good conspiracy theory, but she literally just lost her husband. And you guys are seriously all over the internet trying to find some way and some reality that she's involved in what happened to her husband. Can you not? Can you imagine if you were in that situation and people are judging her for smiling, for laughing when she was speaking about Charlie Kirk? Have you guys never gone through a loss? Have you never experienced that? Do you know the amount of guilt people feel when they do experience moments of joy after they lost a loved one? No, that's a thing. You feel guilty being happy because they're not here. So imagine her already dealing with all of that, because grief is a SOB. I will tell you right now. Imagine going through all of that already and then getting on the internet and seeing all these people saying that you're involved, trying to come up with conspiracy theories to make it so you appear like you're this horrible human being. We quickly went from a lot of people defending ERIKA Kirk to a lot of people assuming she is in on her husband's driving. Make it make sense.
So this is the whiplash that I can't get over. Just a few days ago, ERIKA Kirk was standing on stage talking about forgiveness, saying that we all just need to rise above and heal. It was framed as this powerful grieving widow moment. And then just a few short days later, she is on Charlie's podcast laughing and hollering like nothing ever happened. Which is strange because grief usually doesn't look like perfectly packaged speeches about forgiveness one day and then full-blown podcast banter the next. Most people, when they're grieving, they disappear, they stumble their way through it. They're not worried about keeping up with appearances, never mind a podcast schedule. But ERIKA, she is front and center performing, which is why this feels a lot less like loss and a lot more like launch. Most widows are usually at home picking up the pieces that were left behind, but ERIKA is out here picking up a microphone, and that's not grief, that's ambition. It doesn't read like somebody broken by loss, it reads like somebody who's stepping straight into a role that they've been waiting to play.
People are starting to question, with unpopular opinion, that why is ERIKA Kirk not spending more time with her children? And a lot of people are having the response, everyone grieves in different ways. You can pause to read, but here is my stance on that. It's not like he had died of natural causes.
The man didn't have a heart attack while on stage. It's not like he had cancer and then, he was in hospice for a while and everything else. He was wounded in public and ultimately from that wound of a 30.06, I won't say it, which I find impossible. And it was televised pretty much, for the world to see. So I have to ask that question too. I mean, how is she this okay after such a major tragedy in public, in front of the world, in front of her? Normally when something happens like this and it's a tragedy, oftentimes people, their loved ones, don't get to see it. I mean, not like this. And having seen it, it would seem her reaction would be a little different to me. Now, everyone does grieve in different ways. But I want to know, if you read this, let me know what you think about it. And the fact that Candace Owens is calling out Turning Point means she's calling out her. She's the CEO.
Wow. This whole conversation of how a widow grieve, I just find it really interesting. Let me know down in the comment section, do you think that the way she is grieving is very suspicious? Or you think that people grieve differently, so it's normal for her to want to be out there rather than be at home grieving her dead husband? Go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts. Love to know what you guys think. Okay, so here's my own take. Like, I do agree that people grieve differently. I've lost a couple of loved ones. I do agree people grieve differently. I remember when I lost my grandmom, I didn't even share tears. What my own grieving was, I was rage, I was angry, I was cussing people out for no just reason, but I did not deal with the tears. It was the day they put her on earth. That was the day I actually cried, and every time I talk about her, I get really emotional and I cry about it. It is what it is. People grieve differently. I have my siblings cry a lot. I have a brother that were very close that passed on, and every time I think about him, I just can't help but cry. Even though it has been years past, I still can't help but cry. So I do feel like people grieve differently and grieve differently on the relationship they have with the person, their loved ones that die. It could be your mom, your brother, and whatever. The dynamic of the relationship kind of, I feel like, and the mental state you're in when it happens kind of move the way you grieve. But let's talk about ERIKA at this point. For me, I personally, I find it a little bit cringy about her doing like a media round. This is not me trying to shame another woman on or tell her what to do with her life. I understand that, okay, maybe she's trying to pick up the pieces and move on with her life. Like everybody's pointing out, this is just 19 days after, and you're out there making a podcast and all that. And I do understand, like, I understand that part of, I'm not going to stay at home and cry. I'm just going to work. I grieve like that too. I'm just going to work. I just pour myself into work. That is a coping mechanism. I get it. But being on almost like press tour like that, I don't know, it just really make me like give her the side eye. It doesn't seem natural. And then there's not, for me personally, I don't see the reason why there's anything wrong with her talking about her late husband and then smiling. For me, it's the time framing. It's the time framing that gets it. I personally, I remember, even though I know how to mask my emotions, and like when my grandmom died, I always I was cussing people out. As much as I tried to mask my emotion, one thing I didn't want to be was to be around strangers or anybody even seeing me. And even though I wasn't crying, I wasn't weeping all day. I feel like there's this thing about when you lost someone, there's this thing that makes you retract to go and evaluate life, your own, like in your head, and analyze life. Sometimes you have guilt, you replay a lot of things in your head and wish and say, oh, I wish I'd make this different, and all that and all that. And I do understand the sister talking about how when you understand how life, death works, and you realize that you're in Christ and all that, you know that everybody's going to die one day. The way you accept death is different. I get it. I'm one of those people that I'm not scared to die. I have death conversation all the time with my family members, even with my mom. She hates it. I get that, but still, it does not take the pain away from you losing somebody that you are sharing your life with. It doesn't take away that pain. Yes, you realize it's going to happen. Yes. And if it happens, it hurts. It hurts. So I just feel like there's just a little bit off. But for me personally, there's a little bit off on how she speaks about him, about how there's a lot of she's already planning the future already, like just there's a lot of back clip, there's a lot of, she's already like on business mode like that. Like, I understand, like I said, I personally, I would dive myself into work when it's rather than me sobbing my eyes that I'll dive myself into work. But I just don't, it's not, I'm not feeling it. There's just something off, especially with the show she put on his memorial. You could clearly tell that was a show. And then after that show, then this whole podcast round, and then I'm just like, I don't know, just something off about it. And I don't know, this is giving me Handmaid's Tale thing. I said it in the video where she was kissing her husband and she did those old posts about him. It's giving me Handmaid's Tale. That's what it's giving me. And I don't, like, honestly, I don't know how to feel about it. It's almost like, oh, now that is that I must not lose the attention I'm getting now. Let me use it and use it. So it's just giving me, like, courage to her, like, hands up to her, like, she's really doing a good job, like, really picking up everything. But I personally, I don't feel like I will be able to, because I'll be just being an emotional wreck, because I won't be able to compose myself. My emotion will be all over the place. I might not be crying, but my emotions will be all over the place. So it just gives me the feeling. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video down in the comment section. Go ahead and share your thoughts. Let me know if I'm wrong, if you think I'm over reading into it, and let me know if you think that this gives A Handmaid's Tale, the movie thingy. Let me know if I'm the only one feeling this way. Let's go ahead and share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead, feel free and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this career. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.